and welcome to Eye on Kenya. My name is Loise Wachira. On the show this week, from Investor Summit to the motoring industry, we bring you these features and more. But coming up first, Kenya's real estate sector has been robust over the last decade, with new buildings mushrooming from the tiniest of land parcels. Property exhibitions have been critical in showcasing ongoing development. I caught up with stakeholders in a recent Homes Expo in Nairobi. From developers, financiers to construction material suppliers, the 18th Kenya Homes Expo was a beehive of activities, with everyone and more so aspiring homeowners scouting for bargains.
Because there are so many developers here, and many developers are actually an opportunity for you to make up a gain. Secondly, you have investors here. These investors are also looking for customers like us. So me as a visitor here, I have got very many opportunities as far as property investment is concerned, finances are concerned, and many things. Because even the construction materials are still here, and there are so many of them. So me as a visitor is an eye-opener.
I think expos like this give people in the public a platform to come and see what the Kenyan real estate market is all about, from suppliers to end users to developments to developers, and see the quality that everybody is trying to showcase their product.
A preference for high-quality development was notably one of the key factors driving investment in Kenya's property market.
I think people are looking for much higher quality. In the last few years, Kenyan real estate has gone through the roof, but people are expecting and wanting high-quality product for what they're having to pay for their money.
There is, however, a growing need for real estate stakeholders to track changing trends in property development. I spoke with an app developer who has compiled historical real estate data over the years and geographically mapped it, making it easier for developers and investors to monitor key changes.
The index is important because we have the data, and for the last 4 years we have just reported it as it is, and that's the most important thing. It's always produced the same way every month, so the trends are accurate and they're important. And I can't stress as much that basically we need information on property. For the first time, the property developers are going to now be able to go into suburb, into property group and into number of bed, and see specific information and compare it across the different suburbs or whatever they want to compare it to.
With Nairobi as a pilot real estate geomapping project, the application is able to objectively give and compare real estate trends with other developed real estate sectors across the world. So how does it compare to some of these cities?
Globally at the moment, if you looked over the last 7 years or whatever, Kenya has done very well. But what we're allowed to do is say, look, after 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, and actually the whole market is all level. It's performing the same. So we are at the moment no better, no different from the rest of the world. And we exchange rate adjust the indices that we can compare anyway. So where the fluctuation of how the pound's doing or how the shilling's doing, that's all taken away. So it gives you a clearer picture.
Despite the numerous opportunities availed through access of such information, consumers still feel that mortgage rates, which averaged 16.96% as of September 2013, according to House Property Index, are way too high and prohibitive for these mortgagees.
They are not that good for us. In fact, they should actually understand who the consumer is. And when the mortgage interest is that high, it's actually a taxing to the consumer, and that is a prohibitive part of the consumer now. They should try to adjust accordingly so that they can make very many people, as many as possible, to own up their homes. It's actually high. Yes, even the developers have actually voiced concern about this, because the developers are putting up houses, but the mortgage finances is so high for the consumer, so you find it's actually restricting. They should come down to enable very many consumers to own up the houses.
Kenya, the mortgage market is less than 25,000. There should be 1 million, 1.5 million mortgages out there. I think, sadly, with interest rates being so high and the time it takes for an individual to get a mortgage, it's prohibitive. If the banks opened it up, I find that we would see 20,000 mortgages a month going through.
Going forward, as consumers' demand for quality grows and more information is availed to them, the real estate sector's contribution to Kenya's GDP, both directly and indirectly, is one to be looked out for.
Oh, I think Kenya for East Africa is the spearhead. It's going to lead and everybody else around us is going to follow. Right now, Kenya is sitting on one of these waves and we're moving forward in a very positive way. I'm very excited for the next 3 or 4 years in the real estate sector in Kenya.